I am even shocked by the hypocrisy and the hand-wringing going on over the Biden pardon of his son and about Trump's picks.
I certainly would meet with him. I'm looking for partnerships. I'm not looking for enemies, and I think we both have the same concern on the rising illegal alien crime rate in New York City. I want to help him address that.
All right, the Trump administration is gearing up to tackle the immigration crisis. I hope, okay? I hope they're not just distracted and just chasing people who are chasing them. I hope that we get to a better place. So let's talk about that and what we actually need to be talking about. New York City is probably the largest sanctuary city in the United States. The mayor there, though, is not in favor of that. Democrat Mayor Eric Adams. He believes that it's time to come together in a way that's not making him popular. Listen.
Here, committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. And I would love to sit down with the board of czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
I don't know why that makes him some kind of traitor, by the way. In New York City, 60,000 undocumented migrants are wanted for deportation because they have been convicted of a crime or are facing criminal charges beyond the illegal entry. I don't know what they've been convicted or charged with, but over 1,000 of them are suspected of being gang members. So, will Holman meet with Adams? What does he believe can be done? And I also want to ask him about one other thing, which is unaccompanied minors, which were a problem under the Trump administration last time, as well as they are now. So, Trump's incoming border czar, Tom Homan. Welcome back, sir. I hope Thanksgiving was good. I wish you and the family well for the holidays.
Thank you. Same to you, Chris.
So, is Adams right? Will you work with him, and is there a fix?
I will meet with Eric Adams. I've yet talked to him. I actually plan on calling him tonight, but I'll probably call him right after the show. But he's reached out to me a couple times. I've been on travel, but I plan on calling him either tonight or first thing in the morning. I certainly will meet with him. I'm looking for partnerships. I'm not looking for enemies, and I think we both have the same concern on the rising illegal alien crime rate in New York City. I want to help him address that.
Do you believe that you can get the bad guys without sweeping up a lot of not bad guys, except for the fact that they came into the country illegally and all the things that go along with breaking up families, breaking up workplaces, the risks that you know very well?
Well, look, like I said in the first show, our priority right out of the gates is criminal aliens, the ones who are here illegally that committed a crime. And that's why I'm happy that the mayor's reached out, because if they can help us arrest the bad guy in the safety and security of their jails, work with their law enforcement, that means less officers in the streets, or less officers in the communities. But when we're forced, when a sanctuary city just keeps releasing illegal aliens with criminal convictions back to the streets, that forces the men and women of ICE to go into communities. And when they find the bad guy, most likely they're going to be with others. And ICE officers are not going to walk away from somebody that's here illegally, that's standing there in front of them. So if he wants less collateral arrests, that's what working together is going to prevent, more collateral arrests, because we're going to have the bad guy in our hands from the beginning and not have to go search for him.
One of the pictures that moves both sides of this issue are when you see the kids that show up, often unaccompanied, or somebody's pretending that they're unaccompanied. This was a problem under the Trump administration, as it is during the Biden administration. They're both in the very high 80s of the percentages of people, of these kids who would come and be released with a sponsor. Biden low 80s, Trump high 80s. The Flores settlement makes it difficult to change this, which is a big reason that the number was as high or higher under Trump. How do you deal with that? Because it is a big enticement to send kids here that they will get released in the country.
Well, look, I think Congress can fix it by simply changing the TVPRA, the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, which had a good intention. And what that says is when a child comes across the border alone or with the help of a cartel, we got to ascertain they're a victim of trafficking, and if they are, they get special rights, and it takes years to go through those cases in most cases. However, they could change that law to make it real simple. If you're a child from Mexico that comes across the border, or Canada, and you're found, you're ascertained not to be a victim of trafficking, you just come into the country illegally, illegal entry, and you're not a victim of trafficking, children from Mexico and Canada can be immediately removed. But you're from any other country, you get a whole new process that takes years, and they found that loophole, they're taking advantage of it. So I think Congress could easily fix that by treating children from all over the world the same as we treat children from Mexico. That will stop the flow. As far as the Florida settlement agreement for the family units, let us detain families in a non-jail setting, an open-air campus setting, like we did under the Obama administration. It took about 40 days for them to see a judge and have the case heard, and of course 90% lost. We sent them home, and guess what? The family stopped coming. It wasn't until the Ninth Circuit said, no, you can only hold them for 20 days, which isn't enough time to see a judge.
Well, will you litigate that?
Decision got to
will
the
you
cartels.
take that? Will you litigate
Absolutely.
Flores to the Supreme Court? Because Congress, I don't think Congress is going to act on this. I think they're going to be distracted by all these investigations and things that are almost certain to ramp up again. I don't want you to comment on that. I want to keep you on your own job. But Tom, I just wanted to have you on as a make good on the commitment that I will talk to you on this show about what's going on. You're not even in office yet. Whenever you want, because the issue matters so much to the audience. So you are welcome here, and I'm welcome personally all the time too. You tell me when to come, I'll be there.
You get it. Well, I'll be there any offer you make. I'm trying to talk to as many people as I can about what we're trying to do and why we're doing it. And children are the big reason I get emotional. I'm so serious about this issue. I'm tired of children dying in that border. I'm tired of children being sexually assaulted by some animals in these cartels. I'm also tired of 300,000 children that were released into this country by this administration that they lost track of. That's one of the things Trump committed to, is we're going to try to find these kids, and some of them will be in human trafficking, some will be in forced labor, some will be in forced sex slavery. We got to rescue these kids and get them back to their families. That's why I fight so hard. It's about children, it's about death on that border. While you and I are talking right now, there are females being sexually assaulted by members of the cartel as part of their payment to get into the country. A child will die in the next couple of days on that border. We got to secure that border and save lives. And that's
I hope Thanksgiving was more about thanks and less about giving each other a hard time. But look, now that you digested that moment and that meal, I have some new food for thought for you. There are 3 groups of people watching me right now. 2 of you are going to hate half of what I'm about to say. And the 3rd group, the independent thinkers, those sick of left and right, you're going to see what I'm saying exactly for what it is. So let's get after it. And by it, I mean I am even shocked by the hypocrisy and the hand-wringing going on over the Biden pardon of his son and about Trump's picks in his administration. First, forget about politics. Forget about everything. Just let's be human beings for a second. Who doesn't pardon their own son? Hey, fellow Democrats, to Biden saying that he made a mistake and that what he just did hurts people's confidence in leadership? You think pardoning his son is what people don't get? That's the only thing they get. That's not what hurts confidence. It may make people worry about you people and what you don't get about taking care of family, which they probably already suspect. But the practical problem is Biden lied about it. Remember this?
Your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
You have.
Now, personally, I didn't understand in that moment why David Muir, who's a great anchor, ABC News, wasn't as surprised by that answer as I was. Wouldn't not pardoning your son, Hunter, be more of a black mark on Joe? I've always found that curious. What's not curious is why Biden said it. He said it because it worked for him at the time. Welcome to politics. Oh, but Biden's word is supposed to be his bond, say Republicans. And now we know he's just a liar. Oh, you're offended he lied. I got it. But you support Trump. Please. My buddy reminded me of Mark Twain's expression. There are lies, damned lies, and politics. Now, Twain said statistics, not politics, but it works either way. In fact, about politics, probably even better. Politicians lie when it works for them. Surprise. Biden thought either Hunter would beat the case or that he would win. So he said it. Then he lost and his son lost and is in the crosshairs. So he's doing what works for him because that's what these people do. And the Democrats who don't like it. Oh, but you don't think it hurt people's confidence chasing Trump over those New York cases, right? When there was all that investigating of him with zero chance of ever removing him. Remember that? And you said, oh, but we still have to do it as a matter of principle. How'd that work out? What principle allowed your leaders, almost to a person, to say that Biden was sharp as a tack, burning precious time in a major election? What principle was that about? Advantage, convenience, what worked in the moment. Biden did the same thing when he said he was a one-term guy. It worked at the time. And then he changed when he saw a better option for him. He was just dead wrong. Now this time, I think he was right. If it were anyone else, I'd get the beef, but not his son. Now, if you look at the pardon, it's just like Nixon's, because the goal is the same, to protect him from future scrutiny during a defined period. In Hunter's case, over a decade. With Nixon, Ford and the party really who articulated the pardon. Ford had the right mindset, but he didn't come up with the concept and the language. It was about making sure that they couldn't go back and look at Watergate in a way that would just retread all of it. And that's what Biden is trying to do now. Hunter isn't being just pardoned. The way it usually works is they pardon you for specific crimes, right? Here, it's not just the crimes he's been charged with, but any crime he may have committed or taken part in, which is probably the more key language, since 2014. Why 2014? That's right before he joined the Burisma board. Okay? So this is different because just like with Nixon, it's trying to suit a different need. Okay? So it wouldn't work here to be specific. So Biden went full Ford, right? As President Ford did for Nixon. The good news is, now there's no reason for Hunter Biden not to sit and answer questions about Burisma and about the nature of that relationship. That is, if people on the right really care about the facts surrounding his and his uncle's dealings with that and other companies and players. But I doubt the right will want to do it if they don't have the gotcha attached.